free to do that. It's not necessary, but if you want to, you can.
Encourage your team.
Okay, that's a good option. Yes, sir. The very first thing we do, ABC goes away. Okay. Well, that's great. Oh. Well, then that probably means that the satellite was not feeding something, which is not good. Well, if it happens again, we can do the same thing. You know, since we don't run Metro News at 7 or 8:30, we can at least throw it in here, fill a little bit of time. All right. It's okay. It's Wednesday. I'm going to use that Dr. Seuss cut, very first thing, cut 7, I think it was. Excuse me.
Quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. Weather look at your local weather forecast for your Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies, a daytime high of 54. Overnight low of 33 degrees under mainly cloudy skies. Clouds breaking for sunshine on your Thursday, but highs in the lower 40s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Good morning, old friends.
Hey, what are you doing here? About to go on the air.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is?
Wake up, fairy princesses, wake up!
Guess what day it is?
Get up before I get you up!
Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump Day.
This is Wednesday. She calls it Over the Hump Day.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We ain't one at a time in here. They broadcast me out on the radio. We're mass communicating.
Let Wednesday begin!
Hit it!
News, information, conversation, controversy, and fun. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
I feel like I'm contributing to. I've been complaining that every time a celebrity is involved in an accident, Biff, the media or somebody tries to find a way to make a problem out of it. And I feel like the fact that I'm reporting this next story makes me complicit, but I share it with you as an example of what I'm talking about. A week ago, Tiger Woods had his rollover accident. Because he's Tiger Woods, becomes a big story. Obviously, it was a breaking news story for a good bit of the day that day. He was in the hospital. He has some serious injuries, and he may not play golf again, but he's going to be all right eventually. And then people begin to say, what happened? Was there something nefarious going on there? And because I don't know what it is. We have to somehow make sure that our celebrities who are involved in incidents we have to somehow make sure that they are bad people. You know what I'm saying, Biff? We're always looking for trouble with them. I grant you, Tiger, of course, did have some problems in the past, but it just bugs me. So today's story is this: the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has issued a search warrant for the black box inside the car that Tiger Woods was driving when he crashed last week. And we talked about that yesterday. There's always, as you pointed out, Biff, anymore, these cars have, I don't know what you call them, black boxes. They have ways to keep track of everything you've done. So they'll be able to reconstruct it pretty well. And this story comes to me from USA Today, and I like USA Today, and I think they're a reasonably fair and objective newspaper. But then USA Today says the report did not seek any warrant for Woods' blood to determine if he was under the influence of medication or alcohol. Why did they have to say it wasn't there if it wasn't there?
Yeah, initially, I think after the crash, that was one of the very first things that the sheriff or whoever it was, law enforcement officer, that's one of the very first things they said. They said, there was he was conscious, he was talking, there was no, there didn't appear to be drunk driving or anything. They took care of that right away.
So I get that they wanted the black box, air quotes black box. So I understand that, and that's a story, I guess. USA Today reports that they've issued a warrant to get that black box to have access to, so they can reconstruct the situation. I get that. But if a law enforcement is not looking for alcohol or drugs or anything, why do you need to tell us they're not looking for it? Because you want us to think that maybe it could be, right? I mean, am I wrong about that? If the warrant had said, including possible evidence of being under the influence of drugs or alcohol, that's a news story. The law enforcement, want to see if Tiger had alcohol in his system or medication in his system. That's a story if they were looking for it. The fact that they were not, I mean, it would be kind of like saying the warrant did not include a discussion of whether he had his underwear on or not, or did not include a discussion of whether he had brown shoes on. I mean, the warrant didn't include a lot of things. So by saying what it didn't include, USA Today implies maybe it should have. I'm not trying to be anti-media here. It just seems to me this was a car crash. Yes, it involved Tiger Woods. Yes, that makes it a bigger story, and it could be his career-ending story. I mean, I get all that, but do we have to drag this kind of stuff out? I don't know. To me, it seems silly. No, more than silly, it seems vindictive. Sheriff's Deputy John Schlegel told the newspaper USA Today there was no probable cause to get a warrant for a blood test because the sheriff said there was no indication he was impaired at the time of the crash. So why mention it at all? I don't know. I just get very frustrated by it.
And I think the other thing too that we kind of forget about with Tiger is we focus on the his golf career, but he is a father. I mean, he does have 2 kids, and I think it was his one of his best friends, Justin Thomas, who after the crash happened, I think he's the one that kind of first made reference to it. I mean, he basically just said, "Hey, let's not forget that it's great we focus on the golf career and everything, but we're talking about a father who has a son and a daughter as well, and I think they kind of get lost in all this."
It's an excellent point, and we in the media often ignore the fact that the people we report on are human beings who have lives. Pardon me. Now, sometimes we in the media have no choice. We have to be hard, thick-skinned, and know that we're going to cause some grief in a family, but there are legitimate reasons to do it, all right? You have a politician arrested for DUI. Arrested, I said, not suspected. Then it's embarrassing to the family, and I speak as just a reporter. Sometimes I feel bad for the family when we have to report it. But some things you have to report. My point about this Tiger story is we're reporting what there is not to report at USA Today. They're reporting what there is not to report. There is not anything in the search warrant looking for drugs or alcohol. On to say, when they asked the sheriff's department, no indication he was impaired, so why would we ask for anything to see if he was? There's no indication of that. Now we're just dragging it out, and you're right, Biffy. We're not. I guess you have to take the argument that Tiger Woods is a big guy, big boy, and is big celebrity, and has got to accept this as sort of part of life, right? But not the family. I guess I'm just getting, I don't know what the word is in my old age. Well, many things in my old age. Maybe crotchety is the word. I don't know. But the media, we in the media, and we are the media, Biff. We in the media sometimes just go too far. And this to me is just USA Today USA Today feels like maybe there was something here they're not telling us, so we better report that they're not. I don't know.
It's looking for something that's not there because
it's not there. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure as soon as the crash happened, if they would have found something, they would have found it then and there. But again, and go back to what the law enforcement said, he had his seatbelt on, and it's probably the thing that saved his life. The fact that he made it out of that crash is unbelievable, and it was probably the seatbelt that did it for him. Airbags deployed like they were supposed to. Everything worked like it was supposed to work, and they got there, and quite frankly, and I kind of feel bad saying this, but I think they were probably surprised the fact that he was able to communicate with them.
Yep. Yeah, and they said he was in I don't say good spirits. That's not the right word, but I mean he was vocal, and you're right, able to communicate in a he wasn't
in an understanding way.
Yes, yeah. So, and if there had been any indication that he was under the influence of anything, there would have been probably some notation from the first officers on the scene. Had the smell of alcohol in the car, or eyes seemed glazed and unable to. You know what I'm saying? There was none of that. Leave it alone. Leave these people alone. The man is probably his career is probably gone, right?
Oh,
I hope I'm wrong, but I think his career is over.
Sadly, I think so.
As a contender on the tour. So for God's sake, we don't have to perpetually make something where nothing is there. And I think part of it is that somehow we forget that accidents actually happen. I mean, sometimes things are just plain accidents. Okay, I'm not going to read this. There's a guy who sends me text. I always text line is open 304-214-1600. I always tell you I will read all the text, but then again, every once in a while I get what I call a little troll. Trolls are somebody their whole purpose in life, they want to try and jab me or jab other hosts here. And there's a guy who starts every day by just jab. There's no bearing on anything, nothing we're talking about at all. He just likes to do it, and I see he's had a big rip to his jabbing stuff too. So. You keep on sending them to me. They don't bother me. No, I just consider you a troll, and I pay no attention to you. But if you want to send them to exercise your fingers, go ahead. I'm not reading your posts. Haven't read them for weeks. I'm not going to read them anymore. Just letting you know. Just had to get that on my system too. If you want to text me and do something more than troll, 304-214-1600. Happy to hear from you. And I tend to read all the texts. But again, not when all they're designed to do is supposedly to irritate me. Guys, I got 50 years of this business. I've been irritated far too much, far too long for this stuff to bug me. You got to understand that. 7:21 after the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It is 29 degrees outside. Going to be a very nice day today. Looking for the warmest afternoon of the week this week. I'm going to get up 250, maybe even into the 50s today. Going to have a bright, sunny day. I like the sound of that. And then the rest of the week and into the weekend, a little cooler, but still pretty nice weekend coming up. So 29 right now at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 21 degrees with the wind chill factor figured in. 29 at the airport, 29 in my home studios, 29 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Top story yesterday we spent a good bit of our time on with the Dr. Seuss story. And there's an interesting little fallout from that Dr. Seuss story that I want to share with you. And that is that, well, we all got to start digging through our Dr. Seuss collection and see if we can make some money off of it. Got the details coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in...
In stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
From the Watchdog Network, right now traffic. Here's the latest from the Robinson Auto Group Traffic Center.
There are no traffic concerns near the Highlands, on Washington Avenue, and on the Fort Henry Bridge. Traffic near the Ohio Valley Mall, on 70 and 470, and on State Route 7 is moving steadily. The lane width reductions on the eastbound entrance ramp and westbound exit ramp to Wheeling Island will continue. The closure of I-70 from US 250 and West Virginia 2 South, the 16th Street exit to the Ogilvy Park exit for Phase 2 of the Fulton Bridge Replacement Project will continue. The closure of the US 250 North on-ramp to I-70 East as part of Phase 2 will continue. The intermittent McCulloch Street daytime closures will continue. The left lane closure on I-70 westbound from approximately the Route 40 on-ramp to just past the US 250 southbound off-ramp will continue. The Market Street overpass with reduction will continue. I-70 construction will continue westbound where crossovers are in effect. And all existing detours and closures will continue for the I-70 Bridges project. Follow Ohio Valley Traffic Report on Facebook, WTRF7 News, and the Watchdog for updates.
Listen to the Bill DeFabio Variety Show with Bill DeFabio and Lola Miller. Weekdays noon to 2 on the Valley's only network dedicated to live and local talk radio, The Watchdog. Bellsville. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Bellsville trusts the Watchdog.
There's a time and a place for everything, including a different point of view. This is that time and place. You're listening to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
A couple of items off the text line. I think this person must have thought I needed a hug after the troll called, texted me earlier. Good morning, Mr. Monroe. I love your program. Have a great day. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. Also off the text line, wow, Howie, 50 years in the business. Bet you wouldn't have that many years if you had a real job. Actually, I would concur with you. You're right. You're exactly right. I've said it before. You know, I'm 68 years old, my friends, and I'm still here. And for many of you, the next comment is going to be a sad one. I plan to be here for a lot more years. I'm going to be doing this and spending my time with you all for a long, long time. It's my game plan. Unless the doctors have something else to say about it, but that's my game plan. And the reason is, it's not a real job. I mean, it's not easy. It's not as, I get upset with people who think they could do this day in and day out, but, well, yeah, you're right. If I had a quote real job, I would probably have, you know, when I was able to retire, I would retire. Like my wife has done, like almost all of my friends and peers have done. I like what I'm doing. So you're right. You're right. If I'd had a real job, I probably would have hung it up some time ago. Brings me to a little survey that I came across this morning, Biffy. Let me ask you this question. How old were you when you finally felt like you were a grown-up?
I'm gonna say 21.
That's one of the top 5 answers. Obviously, they're all around the same. It's interesting because I feel this way. The 13% of the people said, I still don't feel like a grown up. and that's the way I feel. You know, I always say, with the real job comment, I always say, you know, someday I will grow up and get a real job. So now I don't feel like I'm grown up yet. But 13% of the people surveyed, 1,700 adults surveyed. When did you finally feel like a grown up? The number one answer was, I don't feel like a grown up yet. After that, all kind of centered around where you were, Biffy, 21. After that, it was 18, 20, 21, 25, 30 was the when you feel you were a grown up. And what are the things in your life, Biffy, that you have now, or that you have? What things make you feel like a grown up? I mean, getting a job. I'm giving you things. What make you feel like a grown up?
Yeah, probably. Having a job. Trying to buy a house.
Yep, there you go.
I think those two. I would say.
And those are the top 2 answers, by the way. The number one answer, what makes you feel, what thing makes you feel like a grown up? Number 1 is owning a home, and number 2 is when you get your first full-time job. Then working my way down, not up but down. Number 4 is worrying about bills and finding ways to save. Yeah, I remember when I crossed that threshold to realizing, you know, when I first got a job, I was still living at home. Most of the bills still paid for by my parents. And, all the money I was making, not that I was making a lot, but all the money I was making just went, well, frankly, to the alpha. And I remember when I started to realize, son of a gun, you got to pay bills? You mean I got to take some of this money? I can't take all my money to the alpha anymore? So that was a pretty big deal. Starting to figure out how to pay bills. Number 5, graduating from school. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people, I assume it's on a college, maybe. I don't know. I shouldn't say, I don't know. I don't think you have to be a grown-up to graduate from school. Number 6, getting married. Pardon me. Even now, you don't have to be, even that you don't have to be a grown-up for, but I guess getting married makes you feel like a grown-up. Knowing your credit score, which is interesting. It's only been in recent years I know do you know your credit score, Biff? I'm not going to ask you for it, but do you know your credit score?
Yeah, and it's, I'm laughing because it's good, but if I told you the number, you would get why I'm laughing.
Okay. All right. I didn't even really know my credit score until, I don't know, the last 5 or 6 years. It's a really good credit score. I mean, very, very good credit score. And I think that's why I didn't bother to look at it before this, because it's been only in the last, 5, 6 years that I've been in a really good financial place. So knowing your credit score is one of the signs of being a grown up. Number 8, this is interesting because we sure don't do that even now. Planning out your meals in advance. What do you want for Tuesday night, honey? My wife does that sometimes. I think I'm going to have roast beef on Monday, and I think I'll get some chicken for Tuesday. What do you think? I would like a ho-ho right now. I'm not kidding. That's kind of where my wife and I. She's always looking ahead and planning ahead and thinking meals or anything else, and I'm like, what's the next thing I'm going to do? The very next thing. How do I know what I want Tuesday night? I know I'd like a ho-ho right now. Number 9, having kids makes you feel old, and number 10, getting your driver's license. Heck, you can get your driver's license at what? Can't you get a trainer's permit or something at 15 anymore?
Yeah, I think it's 15 and 16 maybe, unless they
something like that. So
unless they change that.
That's not really what makes you feel like a grown up, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't think so. Off the text line, someone says 32. Okay, all right, that's a good age. 21 is, you're technically an adult, and that's what you said, Biffy. 21, you're technically an adult, and, well, you can buy beer and all that kind of good stuff. You can go to the gambling parlors. I think probably once you cross 30 and, excuse me, I do apologize. I get into the early 30s, that's when you really begin to feel like you're a grown-up. So 32, one of our texters says, off the morning show text line, Howard, you say you plan to stay there many more years now. That's really funny, said Bob Evans, sausage, biscuits, and gravy. Don't make fun of my sausage, biscuits, and gravy. Howard, it's Teddy that lets you work more years. If Teddy lets you work more, well, that's true. I've always said, every day I say, if Teddy lets me go on tomorrow. So, anyways, those are some things. I was going to share this story with you later, but since somebody asked how many years and do I feel grown up? No, I don't. Seriously, I don't really feel like a grown up yet. Sometimes it scares me, Biff. Like I'll be sitting on the planning commission. Especially with a big project like that GC&P development thing. And it's like in headline news and people are, is this going to be the future of the city? And I'm sitting on the planning commission and I realize, crap, they expect me to make the decision on this? Whoa, no. I do, because I take my job very seriously, that job. But, I don't feel like a grown-up. You can use the text line if you'd like to, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. What else is coming up today? Governor Justice, bless his heart, he still doesn't know what he wants to do with his income tax thing. Still making up on the fly. That's what he does all the time. So yesterday, at his latest town hall meeting on income tax reduction, he says, I think it'd be a good thing if we had taxed alcohol along with the soda pop and cigarettes. Just that out of nowhere. No, he's been talking about this for weeks and weeks. Soda, or, pop and cigarettes. I think maybe we'll tax tobacco or alcohol too. Okay. Just making it up on the fly, Biffy, like he does all the time. I'll give you some details of that coming up a little bit later on. Forbes magazine and some others, including Governor Justice, are touting West Virginia as a possible state for remote workers. Now, I love the concept, but I wonder, do they know how bad our broadband is? I've got some thoughts on this coming up. On the national scene, the FBI director testified the Capitol insurrection was not the work of Antifa or Democrats or liberals or fake Trump protesters. That was on Capitol Hill yesterday. Mountain State Spotlight online newspaper looks into how West Virginia's legislature is dealing with hunger issues. The reporter behind that story going to join us to tell us what she found a little bit later on. Texas has basically removed all COVID restrictions, all of them. They're just back to normal now. Everything's back to normal in Texas. And a lot of public health officials are going, this can't end well. We'll take some time to talk about that. Wheeling Council gearing up for work on their 19th Street property, the one that they once had been eyeing up for a public safety building. This as the legislature prepares to dramatically cut back on user fees that will fund the new police headquarters they're talking about in Center Wheeling. We'll talk about that. And get more of you registered for our Watchdog Madness contest. Plus, the Dr. Seuss controversy has led to some of those books that were pulled from the market bringing big bucks on eBay. Share some of that with you coming up a bit as well. But let's take a look at the warm weather with Zach Petty. That is next after we check Ohio Valley headlines for you. And Mr. DeFabio has morning sports.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at WTRF, My Ohio Valley and ABC Ohio Valley. Only on AM 1600 WKK.
ABO on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
This guy knows so much about sports. They based the Sports Almanac from Back to the Future off of his dream journal. He's Bill DeFabio, weekdays noon to 2, on the Valley's only network dedicated to live and local talk radio, the Watchdog.
When winter weather strikes the Ohio Valley, you can trust the Storm Tracker 7 weather team to help you plan your day. Our experienced meteorologists stay connected with you on TV, online, and on social. Get your weather information straight from a local source. We'll help you be prepared and make sure you'll never be surprised.
And we do expect dry conditions overnight, tonight, and all day tomorrow.
Meteorologist Dr. Dave Walker, Aaron Mylar, and me, Zach Petty, the Storm Tracker 7 weather team, working for you.
Get a stylish solution for every room with window treatments at Menards and save with 11% off everything. Get Window Images room darkening vinyl and aluminum blinds, faux wood blinds, and cellular shades trimmed to width for free. Or order a custom style and size. Choose from durable, economical options to stunning custom designs, all 11% off. Good through March 6th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Follow us on Facebook for the latest news, show updates, podcasts, alerts, and live video streams from the Valley's only network dedicated to local, community-driven talk radio, the Watchdog.
The Valley's most interesting conversations continue now on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
I don't know if my conversations are more interesting than Bill's. Who was it was selling the jar that kept their dentures in, Biffy? Who was that?
Lambert.
Jack Lambert?
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine that? It's in your living room?
How about the fact the starting bid's $300?
You want to get that jacket? You want to get that glass and clean it? Oh no, I can't clean that glass. Why, that was Jack Lambert's where he kept his dentures in. Oh, okay. And how much did he say it went for? Or what's the early?
Yeah. How about the starting bids at $300?
Holy moly! Just think about that. If he could get that, if Lambert can get that for the glass that he kept his dentures in, how much would his dentures be worth? Huh?
Yeah. Well, it's funny, too. I mean, look at pictures of him without, he's missing part of his teeth.
And you know our buddy Bill, of course, Bill DeFabio. I know how his mind works. I'll bet he's thinking, wonder what my old toupee would go for.
Oh, God, could you imagine?
the DeFabio toupee. I'm going to suggest that to him. Bill, why don't you think about putting your toupee up for auction?
You know what he'd do, Howard? He'd think about it and he'd go, "Well, Howard, that's a great idea. I think I'll do that."
I absolutely believe he would do that. Ooh, I'll bet my toupee. It could be the toupee that I wore when I was Santa Claus and I got in trouble with the Steelers. And they all told me.
Tomlin said, "Get the hell out of here."
Right. I don't know how many of you all know we're laughing at, but Biff and I. Look up Bill DeFabio, Pittsburgh Steelers and Santa Claus on Google,
That's all you got to do.
You'll find it. Oh, jeez. All right, 7:45, a little behind time. Let's get to Zach Petty because it's a good forecast. So I want to give him a chance to talk goodness. Like Governor Justice says, let's talk goodness today, Zach.
Yeah, looks like a goodness gracious, great forecast on the way for the Ohio Valley today.
Going to be sunny and warm. I like those. I think I'm right. Those are two good words I like.
Yeah. Temperature-wise, we're going to be flirting with the lower 50s this afternoon. Just going to be slightly breezy, so I guess that'll be the only caveat. And most of the daylight hours, we'll be back with this wall-to-wall sunshine. But it does look like maybe a couple more clouds start to filter in as we head closer to dinner time. Because, again, all good things must come to an end. It looks like a cold front's going to be sweeping through. Again, right around dinner time, and that'll bring a couple more clouds back into the Ohio Valley. It looks like those clouds will stick around through the overnight period and stick into a good portion of the day tomorrow with colder air behind it. So enjoy today because it's going to be the warmest afternoon of your work week.
We are starting off pretty cool, though. 20, 29, I think, last I checked, something like that.
Yeah, mid to upper 20s throughout the Ohio Valley. Slight wind chill, making it feel like it's in the lower 20s. So stay bundled up, but again, it's one of those days where you want to go grab those sunglasses to keep that blinding sun out of your eyes for sure when you're driving and heading out and about.
And if you're going out to work or school or whatever this morning, bundle up because you're right. It feels like is in the low 20s, so it's definitely you got to bundle up. But by the time you come home, it may be warmer than that. So maybe layer a little bit so you can take something off on your way home because it's going to be a lot warmer when you come home.
Right, definitely a day to dress in layers. That's typically what happens during the springtime. I feel like you're dressed for winter come the morning since it's still cooler. And then by the time the afternoon rolls around, now you're carrying luggage because you have your winter jacket and the gloves whenever you're getting in the car early on in the morning. So it's a dress in layers type of day.
And as you mentioned, springtime. Let me see. I'm looking at the WTRF TV7 countdown off the website. 16 days, 15 hours, and 12 minutes.
Yep.
Until the official start of spring. We're in meteorological spring. We talked about that this week, but 16 days, 15 hours, and 12 minutes left to go.
Yeah, countdown is on.
I like that. I can enjoy that. Springtime will be here. And then I can start singing springtime songs, Biff.
Yeah, if you want to, you can.
I'll leave the singing to you, Howard.
There's always such a demand among my audience for me to sing. I said facetiously. So cools down a little bit tomorrow and then a little bit cooler all week, but still not a bad week, right?
No, I'm not expecting to see too much in terms of precipitation. But, yeah, temperature-wise, we're going to drop down to the upper 30s for your high. But we'll be welcoming the sunshine back at least by Friday and extending on into the weekend. But the one thing that actually has me going, and, again, I am not one to think about the next work week, but next Monday and Tuesday, if you're looking at that 7-day, Howard, I'm sure that piques your interest. Mid to upper 50s and sunshine.
You got on the 7-day, and let's always be clear, 7 days out, it's a little hard to predict, but you got near 60. You got 58 degrees for next Tuesday.
I know, yeah. We're looking at some impressive upper-level warming throughout the Northeast, and looks like some big cold air down into the west, and kind of you have to have an atmospheric balance. So if it's cold out west. That kind of typically means we're going to be rather warm out east. And as of now, that's what the pattern is setting up to be. And I'm going to roll with it and accept it and say, hey, we could be, like you said, flirting with 60 by midpoint of the next work week. Again, I'm not looking that far ahead because I don't want to think about the next work week, but we could be seeing some nice temperatures again.
And well, if it doesn't hit 58, it's still going to be warm, going to be pleasant, right?
Warmer than average, yes.
Yeah, I'm in for all of this. I like the sound of it. But today's a good day. Cold morning. If you're heading out this morning, be aware it is cold. 29 at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. The feels like is 21. So definitely be prepared to be bundled up this morning. But 50-ish by late afternoon and sunshine throughout most of the day. So enjoy yourself. Everybody just go out and enjoy yourself. Hey, we were talking, I want to ask you this real quick, Zach. Biff and I were talking earlier this morning. I came across a little survey. When did you feel like a grown-up? What age did you feel like a grown-up? And what things in life, what life happenings made you go, oh man, I guess I'm a grown-up now? Or were they? My answer, and the number one answer that people surveyed, by the way, is I don't feel like a grown-up. I still don't think.
I would have to, I don't know if I would call it a grown-up, but I guess I would be more adult-like, is whenever I would have to go buy school supplies on my own.
Okay.
And I guess that started happening my sophomore year of college, because my mom was like, you know what you need, just go buy it yourself and use your own money, because you work at, you have a job to buy your own school supplies. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is what an adult feels like. Now you buy your own stuff for school.
That's a when you start to have to pay for things yourself. I remember, and to this day, I'm embarrassed by this. When I first started working, I was working in radio. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time ever that, some of the guys in the office said, hey, we're going to lunch. You want to come with us? Yes, absolutely. Let's go to lunch. Biffy, I think it's before your time, too. We went to what was Howard Johnson's at the time, which is where the Hampton Inn and Bob Evans is in Wheeling now, but it was Howard Johnson's. So we go there, and I have breakfast, or I have lunch, whatever it was, burger or what have you. And it's time, we're done. They brought the check, and I got up to leave. And Bill and Dale said, your share is, $6. I was like, my share? But my parents always pay for my lunch. I have to pay for, I have to pay for my own lunch. I remember that so well, because to this day, I'm embarrassed by that. I just never thought of, I never picked up a check. I was working. That's when I really knew I was a grown-up. Oh, not in a happy way.
Gotcha. Right, I got you. That's funny, though.
Yeah. So I'm in that 13% of the people surveyed who say, I still don't feel grown-up. I always say, someday I'm going to grow up and get a real job, but maybe too late.
Radio's a real job.
Maybe too late for that now. All right, Zach, good talking to you. And, of course, probably your first real meteorological job, when you look back on it, this will be one of those days, one of those years where you'll really feel like you took a big step, too, I would think.
Oh, yeah, just with all the winter weather. That is 100% sure.
Yep. All right, sir, appreciate your time today, as always, and we will talk again tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
All right, sounds good. Have a good rest of your day, gentlemen.
All right, you too. Zach Petty is at the Big 7, WTRF-TV, checking in with our morning meteorological forecast for you. Oh, man, don't do this to me. Did you see the text, Biffy?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh. Look what I ordered this morning, it says. Sausage, gravy, and biscuits. One of our listeners is get the sausage, gravy, and biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it looks good. Oh, man, that's it. And he's got the big container of the gravy beside. You can put more gravy on there. I see a couple of spaces of biscuits still uncovered. Cover them up with more gravy. Oh, it looks so good. I'm glad to see I'm glad I motivated somebody to go get sausage, gravy, and biscuits this morning. 6 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Our top story yesterday came out of nowhere at 7 o'clock yesterday morning, was the story about Dr. Seuss and how the foundation that runs the Dr. Seuss legacy has decided to pull 6 of the, I'm holding up fingers and I realized I didn't hold up 6. Let me add one more there. There we go, 6. For those of you watching Facebook Live, I know what 6 is. No, I just put my thumb on 6. There we go, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 6. They pulled 6 of the Dr. Seuss books for essentially racist imagery, and several people sent me pictures from some of the books yesterday, and I can't quarrel that they're inappropriate in our time, in particular the way some of the Orientals were portrayed, no question about that. So they've taken 6 of the books off the market. But Biffy, in the unintended consequences department, people have been digging into their libraries and seeing if they have copies of those 6 books that have been taken off the marketplace and putting them on eBay. Now, if you were to go up to Books A Million or whatever your favorite bookstore is, or go online and order a copy of, for example, If I Ran the Zoo is one of the books they've taken off the market. If you were to buy a new copy of it, I don't know, a hardback copy of a Dr. Seuss book, $7 1/4, something like, I don't know, something like that. I should actually look it up. I don't know. People are, but now they're going off the market, so you won't be able to buy them anymore, which means they're more rare. People are selling them on eBay. Here is If I Ran the Zoo, one of the books being taken off the market. eBay, $500.
Wow.
$500. It happened on Mulberry Street, another one of the ones taken off. $325. Holy mackerel. I don't think I have any of these particular Seuss books. I have a huge Dr. Seuss collection from when my kids were kids, and we bought some for Teddy too. The books that are taken off, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, If I Ran the Zoo, McElligot's Pool, On Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Eggs Super, and The Cat's Quizzer. I'm not familiar with any of those, so I don't probably have them. But I think I'll go looking for them. Put them on eBay. Could buy more sausage, gravy, and biscuits that way.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, man. Okay, according to eBay's listings, if you bought from eBay last week, If I Ran the Zoo, $5. $5 off of eBay. This week, the same book, $500. Holy mackerel. On Beyond Zebra being sold for $400. Man alive. Now, the other Seuss books, the ones that are still published, they're still going for their regular rate, but holy mackerel. Well, just goes to show you, anybody can make lemonade out of all lemons, Biffy, so.
Yes, you can.
So there you go. Did you ever wonder what Dr. Seuss would think about this controversy that's going on? I wonder if it will be something like this.
I do not want politically correct. I do not like the negative effect. I do not want my freedoms checked. In fact, I really do object. I do not want the disrespect. I do not like the disconnect. I only want my self-respect. I do not like to be henpecked. I do not like what you expect. I do not like that you select. I do not like the PC vulture. I do not like the cancel culture.
Do you think maybe that's what Seuss would be saying right now? I think that's pretty close. I do not like the cancel culture. Maybe these books, again, these are not the greatest classic Seuss books of all time, so maybe it's okay they're taken off the marketplace, but to me it's just still part of this trend that everything has got to be so conformist. Well, coming up next hour, we're going to shift into serious gear and talk about hunger in West Virginia and what is the legislature doing about it, if anything. And to help me talk about that, we'll talk with Amelia Nicely from Mountain State Spotlight.
who has delved into hunger issues and who has written a particular article about the legislature's actions, or lack thereof, on hunger issues in West Virginia. It's 8 o'clock ABC time.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Nothing.
Alrighty then.